Good morning friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also please give your valuable comments. You can also visit the playlist. In the playlist I have provided almost all the topics in a very systematic order and this is quite convenient for the study. Now, in the last class we have been discussing about Raksha Karma and we have explained in detail about Raksha Karma. So today we shall see one more important newborn procedure as explained in Ayurveda, that is the bed and clothes of the baby. So that is care of the baby with respect to baby bed and baby clothes. Shishu Shayya. Now, in routine nursing care of the child, the characteristic features of the bed of the baby has been described in detail in Ayurveda. The bed and the linen used for the child, rather baby, should be very clean, light and having good fragrance. The soiled clothes with the fecus, urine and the sweat and dirt should be discarded immediately as it may attract the insect which can spread the infection. All these points are mentioned very clearly in Ayurveda. So bed and clothes should be fumigated with the drugs like Yava, Sarshapa, Atasi, Hingu, Gugulu, Vacha, Kachoraka, Vayasta, Golomi, Jathamamsi, Ashoka, Rohini along with the Grita. Now the drugs which are mentioned are having strong aromatic smell, number one. They are having disinfective property and antiseptic property. More than some of the drugs mentioned like Gugulu and Golomi etc. So they are also included under Rakshogna Gana. In total, so they will going to help to maintain the hygiene of the bed and clothes and as well as in turn helps to prevent the spreading of the infection by avoiding the micro and macro organisms. Now if you look into Vruddha Vagbhata explains the fumigation with the fumigation of the bed with certain drugs. The beds and clothes of the baby should be fumigated with the feathers of a normally dried crow mixed with the trivet. So fumigation has to be done not for the baby, it is for the bed and clothes with the feather of the normally dyed crow which is mixed with the trivet. Trivet has to be mixed with the feathers of the कौवे का जो feather है. So and it should be fumigated. Probably when you are burning this with the trivet, the certain micro and macro minerals which may be present, so they will release some of the oxides from the feather of the crow and which may prove as an antiseptic. Similarly, of course we should note that this should not be given directly to the baby. This is only for the beddings. In the bed, the baby should be kept with the head facing towards the east direction and child should be always allowed to take free air, atmospheric air, and for fanning purposes the tender leaves and stems of the Pilu, Badara, Nimba and Parushaka are used. Now this is also very important. So one is child should be kept in a free atmospheric air where he can get the pure oxygen or pure air. This will be followed by the fanning. Now fanning is mentioned by using some of the tender leaves of different drugs. Now this is one of the humidification process of the air. Okay, otherwise our body when the air is moving in the respiratory tract usually it is get humidified. Therefore usually we will give the humidified oxygen to decrease the load on the body. Similarly, a similar concept is mentioned here also. When air is passing through the tender leaves, so that will going to impart the shitatva or humidification to the air, and so it will be quite easier for the body to humidify it. Now amulets, yes, various precious jewels and as well as light horn tips of living animals like rhinoceros, ram or the ox are made into lockets and tied over the neck of the child. So this is one of the special things which is mentioned in Ayurveda. It is told that child should be nursed just like Vranitopasaniya Adhyaya. The above one emulates, that is Mani Dharna, that we will discuss in detail later in the coming slides. So it is also told that child should be nursed just like Vranitopasaniya. That means a person who is wounded should be taken maximum care, and Shrushruta explains separate of Ranitopasaniya Adhyaya for that. A wounded person has to be taken care maximum. The reason, he is more prone to undergo infection. Okay, from the Agantuka, infections are quite common, therefore he should be taken all the care. So they says that a similar type of care should be also provided to the newborn baby. That means it is very clear that they have given the maximum importance for prevention of the infections, septicemia like a condition. So it is told that just like we give the care to a Vranitopasaniya person, a similar kind of care should be also given to the newborn baby. Let us discuss about the care of the ears. Okay, Karna. So aharahasya shrota shringharaka snehaluptena plotena prachadayet. So this is mentioned by Ashtanga Sangraha, very clear. So what he says, care of the ear has been mentioned for a newborn baby. Orifices of the ears of the baby or child should be kept covered with a pad of cloth soaked in oil. The thing is, oil should be very pure and it should not have any contamination. Otherwise, oil itself will act as a media for the growth of the infection. Now, Karna is Adhisthana of the Shrotra, Indriya, and need to be protected. Now, Karna is the Adhisthana for the Shrotra Indriya, from where the auditory and hearing capacity comes up, and that should be well protected. One thing. Second one is, the more active Indriya after the birth is Karna only, because Shabda is more nearer to the psyche of the child. That means during the process of the production of the body in the fetal stage, the first Mahabhuta formed is Akasha Mahabhuta, and the special guna of the Akasha Mahabhuta is Shabda, and that Shabda is pursued by the Karnendriya. Therefore, Karna should be taken care. So child is always giving more response to the sound stimulus rather than the other stimulus, sound and as well as touch stimulus. Okay, later the other stimuluses get emerges. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha in order. So that is Pancha Mahabhuta theory. So therefore Karna has to be properly protected. And there is no any indication of Karna Purana. So it's very clear, one should not confuse this with Karna Purana. Many times in the village area this is practiced, Karna Purana. Karna Purana at times may be dangerous to the baby. Okay, so it is not Karna Purana, only the cotton piece which is soaked with the oil should be kept in the orifice area, inside the orifice area, to protect the baby from the external hazards like more sound maybe there, like from the infections, okay, or other micro and macro organisms, and also to provide the snehaluptena, that is to provide the lubrication. So orifice of the ear should be covered and closed to protect the ear from the loud noises, as I told, high decibel voices, because that is may be dangerous to the labyrinth and all those things. So this also helps to prevent the entry of the milk or the food into the external auditory meatus while feeding the baby, which may lead to otitis media later. Now, one of the most common problem in the newborn baby is otitis media. The reason is, when the mother is feeding, so many times the feed will drip down from this point and through the angle of the mouth and enter into the Karna area or ear orifice, which was left unnoticed. After a few days, so that milk will go there, get fermented and cause the infection, and then there will be otitis media where child comes out with a continuous crying. So to prevent that also, this particular method is quite good. Coming to the next point, that is Mani Dharana. Amulets are mentioned previously. Also I have mentioned amulets, various precious jewels or high horn, that is light horn tips of living animals like rhinoceros, etc. should be taken. Now what is the logic behind? See, these are all the references available about Mani Dharana, wearing the amulets. Manayascha Dharaniyaha Kumarascha. Okay, Hasta Abhyam, Griva Abhyam, Murdnya, where we have to tie in the Hasta Pradesha, Giva Pradesha, Murda Pradesha, etc. Okay, Maninam Dharaniyanam Karma Yad Vidatmakam. So like this, many references are available from the Ashtanga Sangraha, Charak Samhita, Rajanigantu, Rasapaddhati, then Ayurveda Prakasha. Like many books, they mention about Mani Dharana in detail. So let us see the logic between this and scientific importance of this Mani Dharana. Now, Mani Dharana is a procedure which can be considered as a part of Raksha Karma also. If you see, it is mentioned along with Raksha Karma only. So this is also the part of the Raksha Karma, protection of the baby. protection of the baby from the external hazards, infections, and evil spirits, many like things. Now, newborn should be tied with certain amulets. Amulets means monies, for which they have taken horns of certain living animals like horse, maybe deer, or ox, rhinoceros, ram, ox, etc., which are made into lockets and then worn around the neck. It can be even tied around the wrist also. Now, certain Medhya drugs, the drugs which are mentioned like Aindri and Jivaniya Gana drugs like Jivaka, Vrashapaka, and even Jatamamsi, Golomi, etc. So they can be also tied into potali and tied around the neck of the baby. This concept is also there in the Graharoga Chikitsa, where they mention about Aushadhi Dharna Prayoga. Okay, there also in Graharoga Chikitsa also the purpose of tying this is to prevent from the infection and provide a safe atmospheric pure air and to exert some antiseptic properties, disinfectant properties. Here also tying the monies around the neck of the baby, wrist of the baby, or any other body parts, so probably it carries the same intention of prevention from the infection along with the Raksha Karma procedure. Now, priest who knows the Atharva Veda should tie these monies to the child. Yes. Then Vagbhata says certain Medhya drugs like Vacha can be tied on the hand, wrist and neck also. Now, Vacha basically Medhya drug, it's okay. But apart from that, it's a Tikshna, Ushna and Lekaniya drug, and it's also having a strong smell, aromatic smell. So, strong aromatic smell also prevents the infection, that means drive away the infection. It is antiseptic and disinfectant property along with the its other properties like Lekhaniya Guna. Now, positive effects of this procedure is due to Prabhava. It is clearly mentioned that how Manidharana work, the positive effects of this will act by its Prabhava. It is Bhutagna also. Bhutagna in the sense, again, is drive away all the evil spirit. Evil spirits are nothing but this one which causes a problem to the body, basically invisible. So they are all considered the concept of different types of microorganisms. Now let us look into the comments on this. Originally this method was practiced by Buddhist people, and as Vagbhata is also one of the follower of the Buddhism, he mentioned the same with great importance. Point number 1. So this type of tying, this money, dharana, basically it comes from the Buddhism. Okay, so in the Buddhism, even the Aushadhi Dharana Prayoga is also mentioned by Vagbhata. So he is great follower of Buddhism. So therefore, Ratnaketu mantra, Mahamayuri mantra, such mantras are also mentioned by him. They are all the contribution from the Buddhism. Okay, now these amulets will have both medical and as well as spiritual effects. Okay, so it also believed that they protect the child from the Drishti dosha. Now Charaka is not mentioned Drishti dosha, but Kashyapa explained about Drishti dosha in the concept of stanya. Okay, that means जो हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं नजर लग जाना. Okay, so this Drishti dosha is mentioned, and one of the point is that as mentioned here, Drishti dosha is mentioned in Kashyapa with the tantric influence, and treatment for this Drishti dosha is tantric. तांत्रिक में जो है हम ज़्यादा बोलते नहीं हैं, वहाँ पे हैंड मूवमेंट से हम करते हैं, मुद्रा या हैंड मूवमेंट से जो भी करते हैं, एंड दैट इज दोज हु लुक द बेबी विद द इंटेंशन ऑफ थिंकिंग विद द क्रूकेड माइंडेडनेस मे कॉज द डिसीज. जो जिसका सोच अच्छा नहीं है, जिसका नज़र अच्छा नहीं है, जिसका मन के अंदर जो भावना अच्छा नहीं है, जब वो एक सुंदर बच्चे को देखता है या देखती है, ठीक है, सो इट मे डायरेक्टली इफेक्ट द साइकी ऑफ द चाइल्ड एंड चाइल्ड में स्टार्ट बिहेविंग इन अ डिफरेंट वे. ठीक है, तो ये दिस इज अ बिलीफ इवन इन द विलेज एरिया टुडे ऑल्सो वी प्रैक्टिस दिस. एजुकेटेड एंड नॉन एजुकेटेड एवरीबडी विल प्रैक्टिस दिस एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ स्टेज. Okay, so this Drishti dosha is very clearly mentioned by Kashyapa. He is mentioned it for the जो मदर है जिसका ब्रेस्ट बहुत अच्छा लुकिंग है, कॉर्पुलेंट है और बहुत अच्छा मिल्क आता है, उसको कोई आदमी या कोई भी औरत गलत दृष्टि से देखता है, ठीक, क्रिकेट माइंडेड से देखता है, तो उसका ब्रेस्ट में जो है पेन होना शुरू हो सकता है और बच्चे का फीडिंग इफेक्ट हो सकता है. तो इसको व्हाट काश्यप टोल्ड इज इट इज ए दृष्टि दोषा. ओके, सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ द दृष्टि दोषा कैन ऑल्सो अकर टू द चाइल्ड और बेबी. न्यूबॉर्न बेबी बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत सुंदर है, वेट अच्छा है, ठीक है, कोई जलस आदमी गलत इंटेंशन से, गलत मन का भावना से, तो अच्छा आपका बच्चा बहुत अच्छा है, ये तो बहुत सुंदर है, बोलने के लिए तो बोल दिया उसने, बट उसका जो अंदर का जो भावना है वो अच्छा नहीं है. सो दिस में कॉज टू द बेबी, कॉज द प्रॉब्लम टू द बेबी. टू प्रिवेंट ऑल दिस थिंग्स, prevent all these things, so they used to wear the amulets. This is what is told in the classics. उसका पहली नज़र जो है उसके ऊपर जाएगा, वो बच्चे के ऊपर नहीं जाएगा, ठीक है. सो दिस इज द थिंग. पहली नज़र अगर सुंदर बच्चे के ऊपर चला गया, उसका मन में अच्छी भावना नहीं है, हो सकता है कि बच्चे को कोई प्रॉब्लम हो जाए. दिस इज अ बिलीफ. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट इज टोल्ड एज दृष्टि दोषा. So amulets are prepared by many drugs may continuously outburst the strong aromatic smell just like vacha, and even when you use some of the other crystals etc, monies, different monies, रसशास्त्र में जो बताया कि different money, mukta etc, so they may, when sunlight fall on that money, उस मणि के ऊपर जब sunlight fall हो जाता है, so they may reflect different lights which are having different wavelength, and which may ensure some protective effects on the baby. This is hypothesis. Okay, this is again hypothesis. Number one is it helps to prevent the drishti dosha. Second one is if the manis are made by some of the metallic preparations like ratnas. Okay, ratna and uparatnas like taraksha, this pearls, okay, the topaz, etc. Different types of manis are there. So when it is you are wearing such type of manis, so what happens when the sunlight fall on that money, so it will reflect some of the lights back in, and that lights may have different wavelength, and that may have a positive effects on the body. This is the hypothesis. Now traditionally it is also practiced with the religious sense in detail, and there may be certain pressure effects on the localized point also. There is one more possibility. So when you are wearing the money or any ornament etc, so they exert the pressure effects on certain points which may also have the positive effects. Now gem treatment, mani chikitsa, is well explained in the classics, and money for the different grahas, for different grahas, different nakshatras, different manis are mentioned, like just for the navagrahas chikitsa. So okay, so gem treatment is well explained in the classics, but in the present context no specific gems has been mentioned apart from the animal and herbal materials. Thing is मणि चिकित्सा में तो सब कुछ बता दिया, बट इस कॉन्टेस्ट में नवजात शिशु परिचर्या में सो दे हैव नॉट मेंशन्ड एनी जेम. शास्त्र में जो बताया गया कोई भी जेम्स को मेंशन नहीं किए, रादर दे हैव ओनली मेंशन्ड मनीज प्रिपेयर्ड बाय द मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स or prepared by portalies etc, or from of the animal products are made into lockets etc, and they are used, especially the herbal materials. Most of them are herbal materials. No any gem particularly ratnas or uparatnas are mentioned. Okay, so using this animal lockets is very famous in olden days. Even nowadays कुछ लोग जो है गांव में आते थे वो जो बालू को लेकर के, तो बालू का जो है बालू बोर का जो है एक हेयर को लेते थे और हेयर को जो है लॉकेट में लगा के बच्चे को बांधते थे. वो भी माना जाता था कि दिस इज वेरी गुड फॉर द ग्रोथ ऑफ द बेबी, नज़र नहीं लग जाएगी. सो लाइक दैट दीज थिंग्स आर दैट. ठीक है. नाउ सो दिस इज अबाउट मणि चिकित्सा. बालाशय्या वी हैव ऑलरेडी सीन हाउ इट शुड बी, बट इफ यू वांट इन डिटेल अगेन about the balashayya, see these are the references given from Charaka, Sushruta and as well as Sharira etc. Now baby's chair, bed and bed sheet, cradles should be very soft, light, and it should be holy. Holy means clean होना चाहिए. जो पवित्र है वो clean है. ठीक है, मतलब जो मन अगर आपका पवित्र है तो उसका मतलब आपका मन clean है. जो चीज़ पवित्र हम बोलते हैं वो हमेशा clean रहता है, and with the pleasant smell also. So it should be changed frequently on being soiled with the mutra, mala, sveda etc and other substances which makes it wet. Old clothes should be discarded and replaced with newer ones. We have already discussed this. And yes, drugs like yava, इसके बारे में हमने बात कर दिया. And this is about the comments on the balashayya. Probably we are not dealt with this. Above explanations clearly shows the knowledge and concern regarding the baby care as explained in Ayurveda. Dhupana explained as a disinfectant method and autoclaving like method as for Ayurveda. Allergic reactions are minimized by the use of the cotton dress material. Okay, because allergy for the new clothes and other terracotta and nylon cloth is very common in the children. And frequent cleaning is mentioned to maintain the hygiene and aseptic method. Clothes should be loose, soft and preferably made out of the cotton. should open on the front for the easy wearing. Front and back दोनों साइड से open होना चाहिए for the easy wearing. Storing the woolen cloth with the mouth ball for disinfection, most commonly practiced in previous days. Nowadays nobody I think using. जो है mouth ball रखते थे, mouth ball. So for the disinfection may prove dangerous in the babies with the G6PD deficiency, as there is a chance of precipitation of the jaundice. Okay, even baby clothes should be cleaned with the Dettol water. Okay, then sunlight is the best destroyer of all the types of the krimi. Udita adityam kramiin hanti. So clothes should be dried in the sunlight. Drugs used for the dupana are basically rakshognagas, which are having katu, tikta, ushnaguna, yukta properties, and so they should be also used for the dupana. So this is all about the utility of the utility and comments regarding the baby bed. So we have covered 2 points in the Mani Chikitsa and as well as baby clothes. So with this we complete this particular portion, and now in the newborn care one important point is missing, that is a detailed newborn care has been mentioned in Arogya Kalpadruma. Arogya Kalpadruma is basically a book from Kerala, Malayali based book, which is written based on the experience of the Ashtavedyas. Very famous book and very useful book for the pediatricians. So care of newborn in Arogya Kalpadruma, so that we will going to discuss in the next class. So that will going to complete the complete newborn care. So thank you very much. In the next class we will start with the newborn care in Arogya Kalpadruma. Thank you very much.